last year we celebrated this beautiful day for the 5th time. So it was a wonderful day to say thank you to our donors over the whole world, taking place in more than 50 countries and with more than 300 events. So that was a huge achievement. This year it will be differently, but we now first look back to what we did last year, and especially what all our members did. So now we go to the categories. We have 3 categories: the incentive prize category, the original prize category, and the grand prize. And we start with the incentive prize, and these were our nominees: DKMS, the National Institute of Blood Diseases and Bone Marrow Transplantation in Pakistan, and Singapore BBP. And the winner of the incentive prize was DKMS.
Yeah!
Yeah! So we'll go to DKMS, and then I will give my word to Sabine and Torsten from DKMS. They will present what they did last year to inspire you.
Thank you, Alessandra, very much. And we are very delighted, we're very happy to be one of the prize winners. It's a wonderful thing. Thank you a lot. So what we did, can you show already the next slide? So first of all, when we wanted to join the World Marrow Donor Day in a very special way, we did some brainstorming with 5 DKMS entities coming from the US, UK, Poland, Germany, and India. And we were sort of thinking, what can we do and how can we raise awareness and also integrate as many or involve as many people as possible in each country. Next slide, please. And the first idea, which is obvious, is the cake. So we said, okay, let's do a cake in each entity, and it was a joint effort, you know, from all over the places. And you see the different sort of cakes in this slide. So Poland on the upper left did a huge cake, which was also being meant to eat. The one in Germany, it was just, actually we thought it's just a cake to just look at it, but we had some colleagues who still liked it, so they ate it as well in the end. And India and Chile also joined with the cake. Next slide. Please, next slide. And then we had different approaches and different events in the entities. So we had the Superhero Con in India. It was celebrated in a college, and in this college we had, that was actually not planned, it was a coincidence, we had one of our colleagues from marketing, online marketing there, who did some training with our colleagues, and he actually also donated stem cells many years back, and he was able to give an interview in this college, and people were really thrilled, and they took autographs and from him and things. And can you tick again, because there are some other pictures. Here you see on the upper left, you see our colleague Phil, who gave the speech, and there was another donor. Okay, so there was another donor from India who already donated his stem cells, who also shared his experiences. And the Superhero Con you see on the down right-hand side, they created this comic, and people were able to stand behind and take pictures, which they really loved. Next slide, please. On social media, we also did a lot of posts. We posted videos, we posted pictures, we also shared the cakes. And I'm not sure, Alessandra, do you think it would be feasible now to start the video? Yes, let's try. That's the video from all the countries.
Thank you, donors. Thank you, patients. Thank you for your trust. Worldwide.
We're offering our most heartfelt thank you to not only our donor, anyone who's donated bone marrow.
Dziękuję mojemu dawcy.
Thank you, donor. He saved my life.
Ich danke dem Spender meiner Tochter.
My donor, because he has given a new and a healthy life. So thank you so much.
Uratowałeś mi życie. Dziękuję.
I'd like to thank my donor, Ali.
Grazie, donatore. Thank you. You saved my life.
Gracias por ser mi donante, Samuel.
Thank you for saving our daughter's life.
Αγαπητοί δόντες μου των οστών, σας ευχαριστούμε πολύ.
Thank you to my donor.
Merci à tous les donneurs.
Thank you for giving my son a second chance at life.
मैं अपने डोनर को तहे दिल से धन्यवाद करता हूँ क्योंकि उन्होंने मुझे पुनर्जन्म दिया. धन्यवाद.
Thank you to all the donors out there, especially my donor Frank, who saved my life.
Gracias a mi donante.
Dankeschön. Thank you. I'm forever grateful.
Dziękuję dawcy za uratowanie życia mojego syna.
Danke. Spender. I just want to say thank you to all the donors.
Gracias a mi donante.
Team Donora.
Thanks for saving my life.
So what we did, that was part of the brainstorm result, that we asked recipients to send in their little videos to say thank you, and we put everything together, and this was the outcome, what you just saw on this video, which to me it's always very emotional. Whenever I watch it, I'm getting really emotional. So the World Marrow Donor Day ceremony at the DKMS BMST, that's in India. So the whole team was creating this cake, and this is there are some pictures about this. And next slide, please. And then Poland again. So I think we can just go through a little faster, Alessandra, and see what we did on social, what kind of activities. We also did some drives at colleges. You see on the left-hand side, and on the right-hand side, we also had a celebration with 20 donors and recipients, and this took place in Poland. So it was also under the umbrella of World Marrow Donor Day. Next slide, please. The Polish people also run a program called Run Mageddon, which is a runner's sort of program, and they did like a sponsored run, but on behalf of World Marrow Donor Day. That's the picture of it. And next slide. And another patient drive, as I said before. Yes, next slide. Germany. In Germany, we started So in Germany, we started a so-called virtual reality. You see this glasses, or this what is it called?
Virtual reality.
Yeah, virtual reality, and people, especially students, are really keen to try this out, and it's like the film they can see, or the pictures they see in this virtual reality, is about how to fight against blood cancer cells. And this was taken to a college where we had a college drive during the World Marrow Donor Day, or at the World Marrow Donor Day, and it was very well perceived. And the next slide, you see our team with our CEO, global CEO, Elke. And Elke also did a little video we sent to the WMDA saying, "Thank you, donor." Next slide. Yeah, that's the virtual reality. Then we had a presentation in front of the students, and after that they were able to register, and they also took some photos with the huge buccal swabs we have for special occasions like this one, and some bubbles with call to action. Next slide, please. Yeah, next slide. And in the UK, we also asked a recipient who we had a drive for 2 years back, Finn, and he was talking to people. And we also had Peter McCleave, who is an ambassador of DKMS UK, who did many posts and also calls to action. Next slide. Yeah, and so that was Finn Hill, who visited Aston Villa training ground because he's one of, he's a big fan, and they also registered as potential stem cell donors, which went viral. Next slide.
There's also a video on this one, but
yeah, I think yeah, it's maybe it takes too long.
Yeah, but it's beautiful to watch.
Yeah, and this is Peter McCleave. I was telling you, he is a patient. He is still in need of a transplant, and he is very active. He's very sportive. He got actually a haplo transplant from his brother, but he was told that this might not sort of be his cure. So he is still looking for a 100% matching unrelated donor. However, he did many events together with us, and also many activities. I think Torben, you might remember better than I do. He did a rally with a very old car through Europe. Was it?
Yeah, it was starting in the UK, through Germany, and back via France, and he raised awareness for blood cancer or blood stem cell donors, and try to engage people to register. Yes.
Yes, and his aim when he started, before even the World Marrow Donor Day, was 10,000 donors who register. And he already overachieved this goal. So he, I think by now it's more than 15,000 who have registered because of his call to action. Next slide, please. Yeah, here you see the social media approach, also from DKMS UK, Peter McCleave and Elke. Next slide. Chile, we also had call to actions in Chile, like former patients or stem cell donors. Next slide. And we also shared the video you have just seen a while ago. Next slide. and we did many different things on the newspaper and radio. The thing in Chile and also in the US was probably Amy and her team also might mention this, is it's always around a bank holiday. So it was a little difficult, and this was the same thing in Chile. It was one of the main holiday seasons, so people were out of home. Some, many people just went off for vacation, and that's why, and colleges were closed. So that's why it was a little difficult to organize a donor drive as well. But I think we did, the very best what we could do in Chile. Next slide. In the US, same what I said. So next slide, tick. So we raised awareness and had our, we asked a college just before they went off for a break, just to take some pictures. So here you see from one of the colleges, the mascot with the thank you donor sign. And next slide. And we had many different posts, which were very well perceived as well. And in the upper front on the right-hand side, you see a bride dancing with her donor from Germany. So she is a recipient, and she invited her donor for her wedding. And this was also very emotional. So that was a wonderful story. Yeah. And on the right-hand side here, this nonprofit unites Ventura Girl with life-saving bone marrow. This is also, you can also take a look on YouTube. It's also shared on YouTube. It was wonderful. He's a German DKMS donor as well. And she is a young girl, a recipient, and he just came into her school class while she was, I don't know, painting something or whatever, it was a secret, so she did not know. And then he was just sitting next to her and watching her, and she even didn't mention, sort of recognized or mentioned him, but all of a sudden he just talked to her, and then she looked at him, and then she fell almost apart. So she was crying and screaming and laughing, and she was so happy to meet him. Next slide, I think. Yeah, and then the Marshall University, as I said, this was taken beforehand, but just a week before with donor registration, and then people could take pictures and also post it on their Facebook account. Next slide. So that's what it was, but I think it was wonderful to see how many different ideas our colleagues from all the 5 different entities had, and what we were able to put together. So what we said is we want to have one joint thing, one joint, and this was the video actually, but then every entity could do what was feasible to do in this time. And we are really looking forward to now take the next step for 2020 with a new idea. And we are very proud that we were sort of chosen as a winner. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Sabine and Torben. And yeah, it was wonderful to see what you all did. Amazing, really. We now go to the nominees of the original prize, and those were Gift of Life, Registro de Donantes de Medula Óseo in Spain, and Redome in Brazil. And the winner of this prize category was Gift of Life. So now I will hand over to Amy and Sharon. I will ask Amy to start the video. There they are.
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Oh, good evening. Good afternoon.
And it's over
Good day.
to you.
All right. Hello, everyone. First off, I would like to say, on behalf of our CEO and founder, Jay Feinberg, Sharon, myself, and the rest of the Gift of Life team, thank you so much for this prize. We're super excited about it, and looking forward to showing you our very original campaign. So let's get it started. Next slide. So knowing that it was the 5th year, we really just wanted to step our game up, and we got together and brainstormed really hard and came up with some really creative ideas that would encompass not only our nation, the United States, but internationally as well, so that we could embrace everyone. And again, always wanting to thank the donors, sticking with the theme, involving as many countries as possible, doing a bang up social media campaign where we can spread it everywhere. And then again, trying to get our donors involved and donors around the globe involved. Next slide, please. And these are some of the highlights of our 2019 campaign. The World Marrow Donor Day Cake-Off, the famous Cake-Off. Our original Esports Swab-a-Thon, which Sharon will let you all know about. An LA Galaxy game, Major League Soccer, as well as our huge social media campaign. Next slide, please. The Cake-Off. So this year, next slide, please. We were very, again, excited to be named as the grand prize winner 2 years in a row. So thank you so very much. We were honored to have Lydia join us at our brand new office and stem cell collection. And we're able to get a really exciting cake made again this year, as well as have a huge party for the entire office in our new cafe and get everybody involved, as well as get our unselfie shots, which you can see on the bottom row. This is something we like to do in our campaign every year, is do it. It's called an unselfie. And you can't see it because it's really tiny, but it just says, you fill in the blank in the middle, and above it, it says, why you are thanking donors, and you fill it in as you wish. So we were able to go around the office. These are just some of the many, many, many photos, and these are staff members showing what they were grateful for donors for. And we were able to, just go around the office and give photos of all of them. Next slide, please. This leads us to our original campaign of the Esports Swab-a-Thon, and I'm going to throw it over to Sharon Kitroser.
Hi, everybody. If you can go to the first slide. So we were introduced to esports about 1.5 years ago. And what we discovered is there's such a similarity between their prime participant and our prime target, which is men 18 to 30. What we discovered is both an online opportunity and on-site at some of these huge events. Like regular sports, there are teams, there are leagues, and we are involved on a lot of levels. Our closest partnership is with a company called Misfits Gaming, who actually is based in South Florida, but has teams all over the world. We had done a lot of stuff with them, including some engagement on college campuses, large-scale events. They had really served as our big brothers to introduce us in this whole category. So when sitting around a table planning our World Marrow Donor Day, we formulated what we thought was a pretty original idea, that we would have players around the world not only stream for 24 hours, but stream with the pitch that it's time to say thank you to donors and to register. We sent out these really nifty shirts where you'll notice it's all on the top. It's all the graphics are on the top. So when they were streaming, you could see it. And off they went for 24 hours, streaming and inviting people to register online. Next slide, please. So we needed a partner that would broadcast these streams. So one of the originators of streaming video was Twitch. Twitch is the largest in the world. They were recently purchased by Amazon. And the best way to explain what Twitch does is it's an online platform where gamers all over the world can broadcast them playing against other people, team tournaments, individual play. And it is so powerful that you simply can't believe the number of people that watch these streams. That day on World Marrow Donor Day, through these players that participated, we reached out to over 5 million people, telling them the story of why they should swab, having folks from the international community go to their local registries, and having the Americans go to Gift of Life. Very successful. Plus, it served as a really good focus on what our mission was within the gaming community. So those who didn't swab at least now know what the mission is. We also were running some video that included some of the players swabbing to really serve as role models. Next slide, please. As you know, Gift of Life is very focused on college campuses. So we had to take this Swab-a-Thon on site. There is a college in the state of Florida, University of Florida. It is the biggest college in Florida, one of the biggest in the nation. And they are known for this event that's a public-facing event called Gator LAN. And we spent 12 hours at Gator LAN. As you can see, swabbing students. The students were making videos. We were making videos, putting them up on social media. We were doing break-ins in between the streaming on Twitch. We learned how diverse and robust firsthand that this gaming community is. Plus, if you take a close look, you'll see our special guest was Spider-Man. Spider-Man felt very compelled as a superhero to swab. He wanted to sign up as Peter Parker, but he actually ended up signing up on his real name after a lot of pushing. The boys and young men and women were going into the event and pulling out their friends to come swab for us. It was a super amazing event, very long day with a lot of new fans and a lot of new swabs in our target demo. Next slide. Social media was terrific because it's naturally an online event that came into the on-site area. You can see them playing games, and if you have really good eyes, you can see them talking about Gift of Life. It was a pretty special day. Next slide. And as you can see, not only we promoted it, but the team promoted it. We are, and you'll hear more about this, we are doing some really innovative things during quarantine with the team. We are their official charity sponsor. We go on, we work with them all through the years. Other teams have approached us about working with them, all based on this initial presentation. You can see that their graphics integrate our logo and still have the sassy Target feeling of their brand. Next slide. Amy.
Thank you, Sharon. Okay, this now brings us to another sports-related partner that we have, the Major League Soccer professional team, LA Galaxy. Next slide, please. So we are a club charity partner of the LA Galaxy Foundation. We do many events with them probably over the last 4 years. So this year, well, 2019, they decided they wanted to be involved on World Marrow Donor Day, one of the biggest days of the year for our nonprofit. So the way we were able to incorporate that into a game, an actual game, was they had us invite several donors to come to a game and bring them down on the field and be able to partake in photos, get up close with players, and just feel like they were part of the action and really celebrate donors. And they just really wanted to thank them. And as you can see, we made shirts for this campaign as well. If you go in, you can see it's got the Galaxy logo, our logo, and Kick Blood Cancer theme, which we use at various events with the Galaxy in other years. We also had the foam fingers, the orange foam fingers that you can see, just to spice it up a little bit. In addition to thanking the donors and bringing them on the field, we were also doing a donor recruitment drive on the main loge area of the stadium. And we had several volunteers, campus ambassadors, and other staff that are in LA that assist with this and assist with other LA Galaxy games and promotions throughout the year. So we were very excited that they came on board to help us out this year and celebrate on World Marrow Donor Day. So next slide, please. Here is some social media. We had obviously hundreds of photos, Snapchats, Instagram, boomerangs, you name it. But we just wanted to show a few of these that we promoted and we saw that came up from not only campus ambassadors, but some of our very own graphics we made. In particular, the two on the ends with the orange blanket, those are actual donors. And again, wanting to thank them. Our great graphics guys, Paul and Chris, came up with these borders at the bottom that we could put on the logos, on the photos, and keep it consistent and very well branded, which is something we always try to do. So we wanted to keep it up for this holiday. In the middle was, we were posting about the game. The two people in the photo were actually a donor and recipient that met at a game. And then the middle shot with the ladies at the table doing the donor drive. There were some campus ambassadors and volunteers, and they promoted it on their own social media. Next slide, please. And here are some additional social media posts that can show some other things we were doing. Again, you can see some of the unselfie shots. And then in the middle and on the very far right, you can see the I donated postcards. This is something we really love incorporating into the campaign. We make these, we mail them to our donors, and or we send them templates that they can download at home and ask them to take photos holding them and post them on their social media. We got a great response to this. Again, this is 5 of hundreds of photos we've received, hundreds of posts. I just wanted to give you a little flavor of what was going on in our social media. This, not only Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, they covered the gamut. So next slide, please. And that wraps up our 2019 campaign. And we are looking forward to 2020 to do the best we can virtually. We're going to start brainstorming now to get even more creative. So if anyone has questions and answers, just please let us know. And again, thank you so much to the WMDA for this honor.
Thank you, Amy and Sharon. This was wonderful to see. It's amazing. There are on the moment no questions, but maybe at the end. So we'll just proceed. There is a last final category. And that is the grand prize. And we had 4 nominees in this category. That's Ezer Mizion from Israel, the Italian Bone Marrow Registry, the China Marrow Donor Program, and the National Registry in Romania. They all did a wonderful job. But the winner is Ezer Mizion. So I will go on
Hey.
Sigal. Judith. Well. Yep. Yes, here you are.
Yeah, you can see me?
Yep.
Okay, so hi everyone. My name is Judith. I'm the registry supervisor at Ezer Mizion. So first of all, of course, we want to say what a great honor and privilege it is to have won the grand prize of the 2019 World Marrow Donor Day. And we would like to thank WMDA and the jury members for selecting our campaign. I will be sharing this presentation with Sigal, my colleague. But before I start the presentation, I would like to say how proud we are to belong to this incredible community during these very challenging and difficult times. Being able to continue caring for our patients and our donors as a community will not be possible without the solidarity, efforts, and the support of WMDA members and the WMDA office. We would also like to take this opportunity to send our thoughts and prayers to all the registries in the countries that were significantly affected from the COVID-19 outbreak, and wish good health to everyone. Actually, the message we won was received by us during one of the most hectic weeks we had, trying to deal with all the new regulations around us that were affected by COVID-19. So this was really a point of light during very difficult times. In this slide, you can see, can you go back one slide? Yeah. So here in this slide, you'll be able to see the registry supervisor, the registry director, sorry, Dr. Bracha Zister, together with one of the patients, Warkanash Ambia from the Ethiopian community, who shared her very successful recovery story in our WMDD campaign. And next slide. So almost a year ago, WMDA launched their first webinar. The subject of the webinar was tips and tricks for organizing the World Marrow Donor Day. And the first slide of the webinar led the audience through 4 guiding questions which the registry should consider before organizing a World Marrow Donor Day. And we found this very helpful and used this slide in order to start our own campaign. And next slide, thank you. So the first question was, why would you like to start a WMDD campaign? So we had some 3 main thoughts. We wanted, first of all, to bring everyone together to celebrate World Marrow Donor Day in Israel, and of course, thank our donors. We wanted to raise as much awareness to stem cell donations among Israeli populations that are underrepresented in the registry, and emphasize the need of recruiting diverse ethnic groups in order to represent the entire spectrum of the Israeli population. Many of you probably know that the Israeli population consists of a very large and diverse ethnic groups. And there are always groups that are underrepresented in the registry, and patients from those ethnic groups who need stem cell donations and are unable to find a donor. And the third thought was that the heterogeneity of the Israeli society often causes disputes and conflicts. And our message was to send a uniting message to the public that no matter how different we all are, saving lives through stem cell donation is our mutual responsibility. Next slide. So the next step was to think about what we were going to do, and we decided to launch a unique donor drive that would target our goals and reach as many ethnic groups and sectors in Israel. For that, of course, we used various social media channels like Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and newspapers to publish our campaign. Next slide. And the next question was, when should we do this? Of course, WMDA always sets a date, and last year it was September 19th, but there's always the possibility of trying to find an event in the country surrounding that date. And we actually, one of my colleagues here in the office thought of the idea to use the national elections that were planned for September 17th to use as an event for our campaign. What we did is we thought about, okay, the election day is usually a day of many disagreements. And we decided to use the proximity of the World Marrow Donor Day in 2019 and the election day in Israel as a platform. Elections give all citizens the opportunity to exercise their civil rights and affect their future. Choosing to join a bone marrow registry gives one the chance to affect a patient's future and save lives. So that was the idea behind choosing this day specifically for our campaign. And Sigal will take over from here with the next slide.
Thank you, Yehudit. So the last question in registry should approach when organizing a World Marrow Donor is how to do it. So first we chose a slogan, which was "Vote for Life," to send a message of proactivity. This slogan obviously connects with our theme of the day. We also published a short teaser in our social media before the election to create interest and curiosity in the public towards our campaign. I will shortly show you this teaser so you get the idea. We designed various branding materials using World Donor colors, and also a unique and really fan-branded foot raft, which we equipped with balloons, hats, stickers, and recruitment materials, which were all branded with WMDD colors. And on the election day itself, we went out with our Vote for Life truck to polling stations in different places around the country. And we organized small donor drives, which were shared on our social media. The places we choose represent various sectors and ethnic groups in Israel. So we started in Haifa, which is a big city in the north of Israel. And there is a big ultra-Orthodox community in this town. Then we drive to a very unique village in the north of Israel, which is called Kfar Rama, in which Druze, Muslims, and Christians live together in a really amazing coexistence. And then we went again north to a very large Ethiopian descended community in Fula, and also conducted a drive there. Next slide, please. Next. Okay. So before I show you the teaser, I just want to say a few words about this video. Again, this video was published before the campaign, and of course the movie is in Hebrew, but we attached English subtitles. In this video, we chose donors and patients that asked the audience the same questions, which was, have you already voted? In Hebrew, the words vote and choice are synonyms, so we use the same word for vote and choice. And if you look in our logo, you can see the slogan, which is choosing life. So this little word game, vote for life, choosing life, it was perfect for our teaser. I also want to say that, as usual, election period is very hectic and press and turbulent. And the message of the video is that when it comes to saving life, different political agendas have no relevance. We all choose life. So Alessandra, could you please play the video.
עידו, אתם בחרתם כבר?
בדוק.
אני בחרתי.
בחרתי בחיים.
גם אני.
גם אני.
בחרתי לא בין שמאל או ימין.
לא בין דתיים או חילונים. ולא בין חינוך לביטחון.
בחרנו בחיים.
It stopped. Why? It continues.
בחרנו בחיים.
בחרנו בחיים. דווקא ביום הזה, כשכל אחד מושך לכיוון שלו, כמה טוב להיזכר במה שבאמת מחבר אותנו.
מדינה כזאת קטנה עם לב כזה גדול.
בכל חודש מעניק מאגר מח העצם של עזר מציון חיים לעשרות חולים ובני משפחותיהם.
אז תבחרו נכון, כי אני כבר בחרתי.
כי אני כבר בחרתי.
יחד עם כולם.
זאת החובה של כולנו.
גם אני בחרתי.
אי אפשר לבחור אחרת.
בדוק.
שיתפתם? בחרתם בחיים. הוסיפו את ההשטגים, השטג WMDD 2019 והשטג Vote for Life. ביחד נתחבר לעוד מיליונים בעולם שבוחרים בחיים.
Vote for Life.
Thank you, Alessandra. Next slide, please. So, we had an amazing, exciting, and very long World Marrow Donor Day. Our team in the field met wonderful people who were all eager to join as a Mizion registry or help us spread our message in their communities. We also received very good feedback and supportive responses about the theme we selected for our campaign, Vote for Life. And in parallel, our PR team at the office posted pictures, stories, and shared our excitement during the day, during the entire day in their social media, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, etc. In this slide, you can see very nice memories and some colorful pictures we took during our field campaign. And I hope you can all see how these pictures express the rainbow of our society diversity. Next slide, please, Alessandra. So a filming crew accompanied our field team during the campaign, and we prepared an after movie that was also posted on our social media a few weeks after the World Marrow Donor Day. So enjoy the movie.
אנחנו מאוד מתרגשים, זה יום הבחירות בישראל, אנחנו בוחרים בחיים, בואו תצטרפו אלינו, Vote for Life, Thank you Donor.
דווקא ביום הזה, כשכל אחד מושך לכיוון שלו, כמה טוב להיזכר במה שבאמת מחבר אותנו.
מדינה כזאת קטנה עם לב כזה גדול.
מתחילים להעמיס, קדימה חבר'ה!
ימלא את כל הפרטים שלו.
עצם העובדה שאולי תהיה לי הזכות להצלת חיים נותנת תחושה מאוד טובה.
הזכות שלנו, נשמח בעזרת השם. היום כולם בוחרים בחיים.
أنا اليوم انتخبت أساعد وأنقذ الحياة. ביום הזה אני שמח שכולם באים להציל חיים, זה הדבר הכי חשוב שיש. כולנו בוחרים בחיים.
תודה לכולם, מישהו שהתנדב להציל את החיים.
ביום הזה מצילים את החיים.
Thank you, Sandra. Next slide, thank you. I must admit that I think I saw this movie more than 1,000 times, and each time it gets me really excited again, and really nice memories are coming back. We want to thank our 1 million amazing donors and devoted donors for stepping up for more than 22 years now to save lives of patients battling with blood cancers and other diseases. And of course, we couldn't have done it without you all. And last but not least, next slide, please, Alessandra. Of course, we want to thank all the people that took part in our campaign and were responsible for this great and hard work. So, of course, big thank you to our registry director, Dr. Bracha Ezer, the registry staff at the office, Maria, Tal, Talia, Judith, and myself, Ezer Mizion staff, Yumi, Tipi, and Meir that helped us a lot during the day. And our peer department, Leah, Tzipi, Hila, Dusty, Ora, Esther, Ron, Ganit, Yaron, and Dabashai, thank you all. And see you next year at World Marrow Donor Day 2020. Thank you.
Thank you, Sigal and Judith. It was wonderful to see it, and so beautiful how creative you all have been. But of course, I want to thank you to all the winners, because it's amazing to see what happens worldwide. It's really impressive. If there are questions, then you can ask them now. All winners are available for questions. So, and on the next slide, we are showing all the videos from the winners on YouTube. The links are there. This webinar is being recorded, so you can always watch back the presentation, which will also be shared at WMDA Share, the presentation and the webinar, so you can always watch this back on your own time, in your own space. I see. Is it possible to have presentations? Yes, it is possible. We will share it via share, Anna Pierre. I hope this answers your question. Thank you. Okay. Are there any more questions on the moment? I don't see any questions, so no more chats. So if there are any more questions later on, you can always ask them via mail at WMDA or to Monique, who is unfortunately now ill, but will recover, and she can also answer questions. I see one more question. Oh, thank you. It's a great creativity and fantastic work from everyone. I totally agree. So this year, the WMDD day is a lot more challenging due to the coronavirus, for sure. We all experiencing this. So together with the task force, we are working on a virtual celebration this year to see how this will work, and it will be on the 19th of September 2020. So hopefully we can do a whole special day, but it will be all online. Besides your national celebrations, we are offering with the task force a virtual global donor drive and a unified thank you donor message to use and to spread. But more information will be followed soon, because we're really working hard on this. So it will really be a special day again, but in a different way. So we hope, all of us, we hope to count on your participation again for this edition, online edition, and we'll hope to see you there. If there are any questions, I will check one more time. No, there are no open questions in the moment. So if there are still some questions, you can ask them, and you can send them by email to Monique Joris or to mail@wmda.info. I really want to thank all the winners to present this beautiful, inspiring presentations and videos. And yeah, I hope you will all stay safe.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Much. You stay safe too.
Stay safe.
Thank you.
And congratulations to Ezer, Mizion, and Gift of Life. Wonderful, wonderful contribution and wonderful presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank
you. You as well.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, and stay safe. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Be safe. Bye.
Bye-bye.